there, let it go live. I'm gonna push it. Jeffrey, one of the things I love is kind of being behind the scenes. Like, folks don't get a chance to eavesdrop it on this conversation maybe later, but I'm curious. I mean, you've written so many books, okay? You are authoritative of what you do. Do you mind, and I know this is hard, but do you mind stepping back and maybe packaging like over maybe 2 or 3 minutes, like what's the story, what's the narrative of the man himself, Jeffrey Hayzett?
Well, I appreciate that. I bought and sold over 250 businesses in my career, about 25 billion in transactions that I've done. I've been a Fortune 100 officer. I've hosted my own primetime television show. Today I lead 2 podcasts myself, just like you're doing here tonight, going live. I don't know how you do it live. I like to do all my taping and do all those things. Although I kind of do, keep the ums and ahs and kind of keep it real as I do the conversations. Today I did an interview with the world's strongest man. So I have an opportunity in my career to work with some of the biggest, icons in business. I've said at lunches where on one hand, right next to me, I had Steve Jobs on my left and Bill Gates on the right. And been on phone calls with both of them yelling at each other or yelling at me. So a little bit of everything in terms of how I got, or where I've been in terms of business. I got started mostly in South Dakota. That's where I came from, a place that most people fly over, a place that most people have never been. And I got started in the business as doing political campaigns, then graduating to a printing business, then from printing business, a television station and cell phone companies and a whole host of other businesses before I finally landed where I'm at today, leading the C-Suite network with about 350,000 executives. And now we own C-Suite TV, C-Suite Radio, C-Suite Book Club, C-Suite Academy, and a whole host of things that we're doing as we build the most trusted network for C-suite executives, and then of course we have a group called the Hero Club, which is a value-based CEO group. So a little bit of everything, and I'm still doing it. I'm serving on numerous boards of directors, both private and public companies. But every day, I go to bed, hoping every night that I can hurry up and sleep so I can get started the next day. That's how excited I am about doing business.
I love what you're doing, and thanks for sharing the backstory. We're going to get started in just a moment, but one of the questions has to be for someone like yourself who's been in the rooms, you've been in the conversations. It's like, what does Jeffrey read these days? Like, you write books, man. You buy and sell companies. And I'm just curious, is there a book that you read recently that you could share? And maybe a lesson you learned from that book with the folks, or at least with myself, just for me, but they can listen in.
I'm kind of I read everything. I try to read like a book a week is my goal, but I actually end up reading more than that because I'll start binge reading or I'll read a book on a plane. Right now I'm reading, I know this might sound kind of boring, but I'm reading a 5-part anthem on George Washington. It was written, I think, in the 20s.
What?
I can't even remember when. Yeah, it was written in like 1920s. But I like historical books. I like to learn from history. I think they give us a great deal of learnings. But, look, I've read The Salesman by Og Mandino, the Think and Grow Rich, Dale Carnegie's How to Win Friends and Influence People. I read that every single year. To this date, I still ring it. But at the same time, I read books like Robert Rourke's The Old Man and the Boy and things like that. So I'm a very eclectic reader, and my son and I share a lot of books that way. We really enjoy it, but that's a big part of what we do. But I do, my book before that, I read a book on Jerusalem by Montefiore. Just a whole host of things. By the way, that book was about yay thick too, so it was a very big one. But I tend to like books
so you're
that I
still
learn
actually
a lot
reading
from.
Books. You're still reading books. You're not listening to audibles yet.
No, I do a lot of audible books. I like audible books. It just depends on whether or not I have enough time, or battery. That's my biggest issue, is just the battery, because I'm always running out of battery.
Well, it's time to upgrade, get the iPhone X11, man. The battery lasts a long time. I want to welcome those folks that are tuning in. We're behind the scenes to give me the excuse here. We got to get going, shit. We got to get going. But Danny, welcome aboard. We appreciate you. Tanisha Ramsey Lane, thanks for joining. Venus, is always a pleasure. Barry Hudson, my man, you're in for a treat, man. I know you love these business owners and what they do. Aaron Jones, thanks for joining. Karen Cherry down in Mississippi, it is always a pleasure. Tim Owens, Vincey Leggett, Dr. Archie Harrison, all of you who are joining on right now. Look, you're in for a treat. This is one of those conversations. You know, one of the things we believe is that the results that show up in your life are just as important as the results that show up in your bank account, right? And so sometimes we have conversations around results in your life, and then others is about results in your bank account. Well, the conversation we're going to have today is about results in your bank account and results in your life. We'll get into that. With that being said, we got to get going. It's showtime. They tell me to go. We're going to get started in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's get going.
Please go ahead and give a big standing ovation for the one and the only Shay Brown.
Every morning in Africa, a gazelle wakes up and it knows it must outrun the fastest lion or be killed and eaten. Also, every morning in Africa, a lion wakes up and knows it must outrun the slowest gazelle or it will starve to death. You've heard it before. It doesn't matter whether you're a lion or a gazelle. When the sun comes up, you better be what? You better be running. That's right. That's right. You better be running. Life is about meaning, and meaning is about service. Isn't that the reason why we're all here? Isn't that what we're all searching for? 2013, the Peak Performance Institute was created. 5,000 clients who we've helped turn their idea into a reality, their reality into a business, their business into a movement, impacting 5.7 million lives around the world. Imagine that! My name is Shay Brown, the Happy Entrepreneur, and welcome to the Happy Entrepreneur Network, the world's largest organization for the well-being of an entrepreneur. And as we always say, our mission at the Happy Entrepreneur Network, our mission is to inspire, empower, and provide resources for the entrepreneur to live a balanced life and execute their vision for the people they were called to serve. And our mantra, you know, I love our belief. Everyone should have a belief statement. Our belief is the results that show up in your life are just as important as the results that show up in your bank account. With that being said, let's get started. Well, it's a great day. My name is Shay Brown, the Happy Entrepreneur and the host of the #1 business development and revenue focused late night show in the country, the Happy Entrepreneur Show. And I'm super excited. I'm over the top, just incredibly pleased, because this is one of those conversations that will change your life and forever change your business. So here's what I'm gonna suggest you do. #1, look right below the video. Look right below the video and hit the share button. Hit the share button. And when you hit the share button, write these words. It's all about #the hero factor. It's all about #the hero factor. We're going to talk about that with Jeffrey. He's on the other side right now. We're going to talk about that with him this morning or this evening or this afternoon or whatever time it is for you. But hit the share button and let's go ahead and pay the message forward. What's up, Loretta? Thanks for joining. Ronald Crawford, welcome back. And Vivian, you're in the right place at the right time with the right people. So with that being said, let me say hello to Jeffrey. What's going on, Jeffrey Hayzlett? Did I get that right, man? I've been practicing all day long.
Yeah, well, you did it. You did it great. But, as long as you just say hello, I'm fine. Whatever you call me, I don't care.
Well, it's always an honor and a privilege, man. Thanks a lot for joining. Thanks for being here. I know that we have a mutual person that connected us, none other than the one and only, the fabulous lady herself, Debbie Allen. Y'all got to go to DebbieAllen.com. You got to Google her, an amazing person and a connector. So, Debbie, thanks a lot. We appreciate it. Jeffrey, as you're out there, they're going to read about how famous you are, right? They're probably Googling the name Jeffrey Hayzlett right now, and they're going to understand what you've done. But I got to ask you the question, just if you were speaking right now to a group of entrepreneurs and you had to say, look, this is the #1 challenge you've seen facing entrepreneurs today, And here's an idea. Here's a solution they can overcome that number one challenge. Just based on your perspective, based on all your podcasts, based on all your conversations and book, what would that be? And ladies and gentlemen, don't worry, we'll get into the hero factor. But right now, you are the hero, right? Because you started this journey of entrepreneurship, and we want to recognize you. So, Jeffrey, the question again is, what's one of the biggest challenges facing entrepreneurs today, and what do you see as one of the solutions?
You know, it's looking in the mirror and convincing yourself that you can do it. You know, a lot of people listen to voices that are in their heads telling them that they can't do things. And people ask me all the time, said, what do you do when those little voices start talking to you? I said, I stopped listening to those voices a long time ago. And so I ignore them. And then the next piece of that for most entrepreneurs is just doing it. You know, an idea without implementation is nothing but air. And I hear a lot of people talk about wanting to do it, gonna do it, should have done it. I had that idea. I thought of that first, but you know what? They didn't do it. And that's the biggest thing. I mean, Jeff Bezos isn't the smartest guy in the world. He's a pretty smart guy, but he's not the smartest. And it's just because he went out and did stuff. And in fact, I was talking about this today with a pretty big business person that was in my office. And we were talking, you know, Jeff Bezos didn't start off building Amazon. He started off building a book business. He was printing books. That's how he got started. I remember that because back in the 90s, I was helping sell him the printing equipment that he needed, the software that he needed for that particular project that he was doing. And now look where he's at today, because he shifted, he did it when no one else was doing it. You know, he put in the long hours and made it happen. And there's the difference right there.
You know, powerful, powerful, powerful. Now, thanks for sharing that. One of the things you talk about in your book, and I know it goes back, but think big and act bigger. A great concept, a great idea. Kind of frame the conversation for folks when you say think bigger, because a number of individuals as entrepreneurs, and that's who's watching now, entrepreneurs, speakers, authors, coaches, experts. I mean, these are folks who get up every single day, Jeffrey, and they've got a vision for the people they were called to serve, and they go do that every single day. When you say think bigger, some folks might think it's all about money and how do I get more and more and more money. Frame the conversation for those folks who maybe haven't read the book. When you say think bigger, but act bigger, think big, but act bigger. Sure. Talk about that for a few minutes.
You know, I was actually talking with somebody earlier from my team, and it was really about living in my future. It's about walking with a little bit of swagger and start understanding that I want to live into my future. I want to live where I want to be, not to where I'm at or where I used to be. And so, you know, I mentioned earlier in the pre-show that I'm from a state that most people fly over, where more people, you know, are in the stands at the Indianapolis 500 the day of the race than my entire state. I'm from South Dakota. But yet from South Dakota, I've gone off and done all these businesses, built these businesses. You know, my last company that I was at, I had a $17 billion marketing budget, 7,500 marketing people just in my department. I mean, that gives you the scale. And that's the big thing in terms of being able to do it. You know, there's no difference between a business in Main Street of Sioux Falls, South Dakota, and a business in Wall Street in New York City. The only difference is the numbers of zeros. It's the same kind of people running it. And what gives you the advantage over the other? It's like living in your future and walking with a little swagger to make it happen. That's the only difference, is to believe you can do it and you get it done.
You know, one of the things that I admire about you is that with all your success, I know you're quoted often in Forbes, Success, Mashable, I mean, the list goes on and on. Yet, for someone that has sold companies, built companies and sold companies, which we'll come back to, the question is, why does Jeffrey still take time to get on different folks' podcasts, to share your message on scenes like this? I mean, what I admire most about it, someone gave me a call and said, how much did it cost? And I said, it was a relationship. I said, the guy didn't ask for a cash app before we got started. He didn't say, send me a Zelly payment. He didn't say, swipe and succeed. He said, Shay, I'm there to serve. So I guess the question is, and we'll get to the hero factor, don't worry, everyone, but why does Jeffrey still do this? Like, why do you still share up just to give and just to share and just to help other entrepreneurs along this journey?
You know, brother, over my door in my offices in South Dakota, I'm in my place in New York City right now, working out of here this week before I hit the road. And I'm actually going back to South Dakota because it's pheasant hunting season. And so I love to go pheasant hunting, and I've got my friends, and I've got a lot of CEOs that are coming in. It's been a tradition of mine for 30-some years to go on this particular gathering with these folks. But, over my door in Sioux Falls, and even on the website, if you write to me or my signature, it says New York, Los Angeles, and Sioux Falls, and then behind it says because we can, or because I can. And that's really always been my philosophy. I do it because I can. I like it. I'm an optimist. Look, I'm wearing a Jets t-shirt. I mean, my gosh, that should tell you something right now, that I'm optimistic. I'm always a dreamer that I can make it. There is a chance, that stuff is going to happen. But, look, I've always believed in a servant mentality. If you can help others, the more you help, the more you give, I can guarantee you it will pay off. It will come back to you. Every once in a while, sure, you get burned, but you know what? That's okay. You learn from those experiences as well. I'd much rather give and share, and the more I do that, I get to meet great people. I get energy from the folks that are tuning in right now, that are writing, comments and texting and tweeting and posting. I mean, my gosh, we get paid for this. We get, in this case, I'm not even getting bacon. Now, if you want to send me some bacon, Shay, you can do that, or some scotch. Those are two of my favorite things. So I'd be more than happy to take that as payment. But just being here with you and then being with everybody else, man, are you kidding me? This is awesome.
Hey, man, certainly we appreciate it. For those folks that are listening right now, do me a favor. Look right below the video. And write these words: think big, act bigger. Hashtag Jeffrey Hayzlett. Put think big, act bigger, hashtag Jeffrey Hayzlett. Let's go ahead and think. We're going to think bigger. He's going to tell us what that means a little later. We're going to get into that. We're going to talk about the hero factor and how that applies to you, the entrepreneur. Some of you out there, you have employees. Some of you have 1099s, and others of you out there, yeah, it's a 2, 3, 5 person shop, but you're making a big impact and you're doing what you love and you've built the business. So we're going to get into that. But do me a favor, if you know that this is your year, you know that this is your month, you know that this is your time, look right below the video, and say, think bigger, think big, act bigger. Think big, act bigger. Jeffrey, can you take a moment and tell us a time where you had to think bigger than you even thought was possible? Now, for some folks, selling the company is thinking they can't imagine that. But for you, sitting where you are right now, when was the time where you had to literally think bigger and then you had to act bigger?
Every day. Every day. Just because you get big doesn't mean there's something bigger. Look, I've sat in meetings. I remember one time, I'm thinking I'm pretty hot stuff. I'm the chief marketing officer of Eastman Kodak, and I'm sitting next to somebody, and I'm at the time, I got in this conversation, and I'm thinking I'm hot stuff. I'm on the Celebrity Apprentice with Donald Trump. I'm doing this show. I was a judge on Trump's show for a number of years. And there I am sitting next to this business person who's the chief marketing officer for GE. And in the conversation, the person figured out and said a note that said they had to grow by $21 billion that year, or he at the time didn't get his bonus. Had to grow by $21 billion, or he didn't get his bonus. And I'm thinking, are you kidding me? 21 billion? That's bigger than my marketing budget at the time. Yeah. So what I've always learned is no matter how big you think you are, there's always someone bigger. And so no matter the idea that you have or that you can do, there's always a way to improve it. So early on, I wrote a book and called Running the Gauntlet. It was my second bestseller out of the 4 that I've done so far. And I wrote this about adapt, change, or die. To all the naysayers, the opportunists, obstructionists who stand in the way, all those captains of no, it's important for us to just go and get it done over their objections and there, and to think, again, think bigger and to make it and put it into action. That's so critical for everything that we do. And that's every day, brother. every single day, every single day. And there are times when I get down and I think, oh my gosh, woe is me, and I got problems just like everybody else. But, it's nothing that money, time, or expertise can't solve. And I just got to find them.
I love that. Money, time, or expertise. Money, time, or expertise. That's a golden nugget. Someone do me a favor. As you're looking right below the video, put money, time, or expertise. Now, you can always make more money, but you can't make more time. We're going to ask him about that. But he said money, time, and expertise. Do me a favor. What's up, Deborah Gardner? She's out there watching right now. Cheryl Graham is in the house. Thanks a lot. Karen says, I love it. Adapt, change, or die. We got you. Venus says, put it into action for sure. You got to do that. Tanya Pickett says, think big, act bigger. Hashtag Jeffrey Hayzlett. And sure, Cheryl Graham is in the house. Thanks a lot, Cheryl. Latanya Drummond said, think big, act bigger. Yes, indeed. Don't worry. I'm going to ask the question about speaking. Don't worry. I only got so much time here, ladies and gentlemen. Tammy Lawrence, thanks for joining. He says, hey, what's up, everybody? We appreciate every single one of you. Hit the share button. Every single one of you make a comment right below. Look, you have a business. We'll get to that in a minute. I want you to do me a favor. Hit the share button. Hit the share button. Hit the share button. When you hit the share button, write these words. It's my time. It's my time. It's my time to get some new clients. It's my time to expand my comfort zone. It's my time to stretch out on automation. It's my time to extend my marketing. It's my time to build my team. Now, for those folks that are writing out there right now, Jeffrey, it's my time, and they're listening, they say Jeffrey is on fire. Some of you may not be aware of this, and you'll read it. Again, he said I have to read his long bio. You'll read that. But here's a gentleman that's in the National Speakers Association Hall of Fame. And this is pretty big. He's a National Speakers Association Hall of Fame. And many of you out there, you use speaking to grow your business. You're speaking on Facebook. You're speaking on a podcast. I'm asking about podcasts. We'll do that in another segment later. Don't worry. I haven't forgotten. But Jeffrey, here's the question we have for you. What is, if you had to give advice to the person like myself or like another entrepreneur, and they're like, I hate to speak, but I got to do this podcast. I've now got to do these Facebook Lives. I got to do these webinars. I'm a stutterer. What are 1, 2, or 3 ideas that you can give to the person out there that needs to use speaking for their business and they're doing the best they can right now and they just want to pick your brain? What are 3 ideas you can give? And ladies and gentlemen, this is a Hall of Fame speaker.
So just like anybody else, look, I give 160 keynotes, approximately that a year, around the world, and been doing this for a number of years. Been a member of the National Speaker Association since 1986 when I was 26 years old, and used to sit at the same tables with Zig Ziglar, and of course Brian Tracy is still a good friend, and Bill Brooks, who passed, and the Og Mandino, and all these folks that are just icons, and got to know them. But I get nervous just like anyone else. So just so you know that no matter who you are, you always have that kind of twinge. It's easier for me now. I can just pretty much, you turn the light on, flip the switch, put the quarter in, you're going to go for the full ride when it comes to the speaking. But, but speaking is a great thing. And, my first book, which was called The Mirror Test, I actually tell people that if you sell you sell the business. Sell the business, you sell yourself. You sell you. So it's now to the point where people can't separate the two. And so you're an extension of that, So it's very important for you to be able to go out and get that done and make that happen and do as much of you can. Now, the other thing you want to remember as a speaker, that if you don't fill up the slot, you've lost your inventory. Your inventory is time. So make the best use of it. So even if you're not getting paid, even if you're not getting paid as much, even if there's only 5 people sitting in the audience, at least you're getting value for that time. And so you want to make sure. And the other thing is, be really good at what you do. So practice, stand in front of the mirror, go on a stage and do the things you got to do, walk through the different moves that you're going to have. I mean, you're there to put on a show. You're there to serve the people that are there to listen to you or in front of you. So, I know a lot of speakers who sometimes are a little bit more like prima donnas. They show up the last minute with their disk drive right before they're supposed to go on stage. I don't do that. I try to make sure that I'm the least of anyone else's problems so that I can help them do what they want to do. I'm there to make them look good. I'm here to help Shay and his audience and I'm there to play a role, and that's my role. So as a speaker, and utilizing it for your business, you're there to impact others and to play a role. So be really good at what you do, and don't take it casually. Take the time to study. Take the time to practice. Someone recently posted something. By the way, you're getting me wound up. Once you get me wound up, it's hard to unwind me.
Nah, keep going, man. You're fine, man. You're fine. I'm taking notes. We're taking notes. Take it away, my man. And by the way, Deborah Gardner out of Phoenix, Arizona, told me to let you know she sat at the table with you as well. She said, don't forget she was at that table. She's in the National Speaker Association and a fantastic person who put me in contact with Debbie Allen, by the way. So I love Deborah Gardner. What's up, Deborah? Swim in the fast lane.
Deborah is awesome, and she is. I've certainly sat at a table with her and stood on stage with Deborah and Debbie and so many speakers around the country. Someone recently posted in a forum. Every once in a while, I'll go in and look at the speakers forum and play. I'm a baby boomer trapped in a millennial body, so I'm always trying to look and learn. But someone said, well, how do you get to be good in speaking? Or how do you get to be great in speaking? And I thought, well, that's a stupid question, but I'll answer it. And you got to go be good, go be great. And you do that through practice. That's the way it works. And you can't just take a pill. You can't just, you can take a course, but if you don't put the things in place to do the right things, then it's never going to happen for you. Just like if you want to be a great athlete, you got to practice. You got to exercise. You got to stretch out. You got to do all the things you need to do to get where you want. And the same thing holds true with speaking. So take the time to really get good at the craft, know your subject well, and then be entertaining with it as well.
Love it. Perfect answer, man. I love it. I love the way you serve. I would love the answer. For those folks that are listening right now and you're looking right now, you're listening to none other than the one and only Jeffrey Hayzlett himself, by the way. He's built companies. He's sold companies. He's in every magazine possible. We'll talk about what he has going on, the C-suite. This is like a real super special edition. So I'm hanging out right here in this present moment. But for every single one of you out there, by the way, all of our new viewers, we appreciate you. Welcome to the Happy Entrepreneur Show. My name is Shay Brown. And for those folks that return every single evening, that share it out, we want you to know we appreciate you. Jeffrey, if we could pick your brain, the question has to be, who's been a mentor along the way for you? You've had so many mentors, right? It'd be hard for you to boil it all down. But if I had to say, Jeffrey, give us one or two mentors you had along this journey. More importantly, what was the lesson you learned from the mentor that you could share with us? So you kind of pan that mentor's message and lesson forward to all and everyone listening right now.
I have mentors every single day. I see them as examples of how they live their lives, how they do business. We have a lot of that in our Hero Club with the C-Suite Network. I see these CEOs and entrepreneurs of these value-based businesses, and they teach me something every day. But the kind of mentors I've had are probably like many of you. They'll never see the front pages of the Wall Street Journal. You'll never find them on the front cover of Fortune magazine or Forbes or anywhere else. There are people like a gentleman by the name of Michael Connor or Mr. Fred Pinson, who, when I was 14 years old, a job as a plumber's assistant, and then taught me the value of hard work, when I really needed money as a young man. Or John Timmer, who taught me the value of, who was an insurance salesman and had an insurance brokerage firm for employee insurance, who taught me the value of really sticking to your values, even when people were yelling at you, even when you had haters, the value of being able to stand up and do the things for the right reasons. But let me get back to Michael Connor. I can't remember, I think it was 86 or 82. I can't remember which. It was 1986. I bought a printing business from Michael Connor called CompuPrint. And he taught me the value of a Z-out. Now, no one knows what a Z-out is today, but maybe Shay, you might remember. But a Z-out was something you did on a cash register, and you turned a key and you hit and you hit the Z. You turned it to the Z, and then you hit return, and it printed out all of your transactions for the day, and then gave you a total. And he showed me the value of that. And what that meant and how to compare it day to day, week to week, month to month, month to the last year's a month, to the year from last year, the day, and what the average is that I had to hit in order to really start to make money. To the point was, I was just with my wife not more than an hour ago, and I was telling her, honey, if we just hit this number every day, do you realize this is X many more $1 million a year that we can gross on this business just by hitting this number? And so that's my Z out. And I still think like that today of what do I have to do every hour, every day. And that was a great, great lesson that he taught me called the Z out. And I've written about this in my book, but I tell about this because these are, these are three men, and there are women, so nobody write me letters, okay? I got women in my life that are like that as well. But you just asked me, I only got so much time,
Right.
And but those are three that were the three most important, for me. Aside from my family, my mother, my mother was a great, great influence on me, and the way she thought, she's probably one of the best salespeople in the world. She was unbelievable, and she could just sell anybody anything and make everybody just feel at home. So there's so many people like that, but that's Z out, man. I still think about that every day.
Wow. I love what you're saying. I love what you're saying right now. I want to take a moment and do a very special segment, Jeffrey, we call the Champions Creed. And I want to preface it, the Champions Creed are some words that were given to me by my mentor over 15 years ago. And the significance of the Champions Creed is he said, say these words every single day, and it's going to help you in good times and in bad times. And I like to say it, and I like to share it with the audience because it gives the audience, and that's you, all the Happy Entrepreneur Tribe, a chance to participate. And this is for all the new folks that don't know this, that the Happy Entrepreneurs Tribe is a place where we come to support each other, to love on each other. And I want you to imagine for a moment that you're on the side of a marathon race. And I've run 5 marathons, by the way. And the racer is coming by, and you're on the sideline. And you're saying, you're a champion, and you're a champion, and keep on going, and you got this, and you can make this happen. So you're cheering someone on. So here's how you can participate. I'm going to put the words up there. I'm going to read the words, but here's what I need for you to do. Every single one of you who are watching right now, what's up, Tanisha? What's up, Latanya? What's up, Annette Smith? Every single one of you who are listening right now, look right below the video. And I want you to write these words for another entrepreneur who's doing really, really well. That means they got more pressure, by the way, so they even sweat more. Or they've had some setbacks. And you're going to write these words. You are a champion. Hashtag never give up. I want you to look right below the video. You're going to write, you are a champion. Hashtag never give up. And that's to encourage someone. That's to inspire someone. So let me put these words up. I'm going to read them. And then, Jeffrey, after I read these words, and you, the audience, you're writing, you're participating, you are a champion. So it's not about you. It's about someone else. Hashtag never give up. When someone writes those words, you hit the heart button, hit the share, hit the like button. Say, yes, you are. Yes, you are. We're going to encourage someone else. And Jeffrey, you get to participate as well. I'm going to read the words. And then when I finish, I'm going to come back to the audience. But I want you to take a moment and share after you read them. We'll give you a chance to do that. Maybe a time you had a setback. They're listening to you and saying, man, this guy got it all together. Gee whiz, man. If I had his hand, I'd be doing just well. Well, there may be a time that he had a setback. There was a challenge in his life or in his business. And he had to turn around. He is known, by the way, you'll learn that later, as the Maverick turnaround guy. But I want to talk about something that didn't work. And what's the lesson he learned that had to turn him into a champion? All right, let me pull up Champions Creed. Some of you are seeing it for the very first time. Here it is. Champions Creed comes from my mentor. And here's what the Champions Creed says. And remember, you look right below the video and you put you are a champion, just like Latanya Drummond did. You put you are a champion, just like Siobhan did. But don't forget, hashtag never give up. Here it is, Champions Creed. I am not judged by the number of times I fail, boy if I fail, but by the number of times I succeed. And the number of times I succeed is in direct proportion to the number of times I can fail and keep trying, and keep trying, and keep trying. So what does that mean for you? Why do we do this? This is for all of our colleagues. This is for everyone that's out there right now. You look right below the video. And if you've never written a comment ever in your life, you're going to encourage someone else. You're going to write, you are a champion. Hashtag never give up. Never give up. Never give up. Just like Donnie just did. Never give up. Just like Karen just did. Never give up. Just like Sarah Addison put, you are a champion. Never give up. Tammy Lawrence put, you are a champion. Karen Cherry out of Mississippi, who has the largest women's conference in Mississippi, by the way, put, you are a champion. Never give up. That's right. This is your time. So, Jeffrey, if I can, I'm going to pull this up. Do you mind I guess I should ask the question first. Do you mind reading those words? And then when you finish, do you mind sharing with us a setback and a challenge and a lesson you learned?
Well, I tell you what, I will read these words because can you put it back up there so
Yes.
I can see it? Yeah, there we go. I am not judged by the number of times I fail, but by the number of times I succeed. And the number of times I succeed is directly proportional to the number of times I can fail and keep trying. Let me tell you, folks, this right now. Everybody's like, this is a big thing right now. Oh, we talk about how many times we fail. Trust me, you are going to fail. We need to be talking about the times we can win because you have to get to win. Everybody talks about fail fast. Win fast. You are going to fail without question. As an entrepreneur, as a human being, we're going to fail. That's how we learn, is by failure. And the failure gets us to where we want to do. And I've had a million of them, my friend. In fact, somebody says, what's the biggest failure you've ever had? I always say, I don't know. I haven't done it yet, which means I'm going to do it again. And so I can even remember one time I even tried to corner the market on the pheasant business. I tried to corner the market on pheasants till I realized there wasn't one. But that's another whole book and story, So the key thing is to remember, that's a fact. I remember losing an investment that I made in this pheasant farm and really trying to get ahead. I was telling you about going pheasant hunting, but I really tried to do this. This is a number of decades ago. And, I had to go borrow money to cover the losses. I had to go to a bank, beg them to give me money to cover the losses. And I've done that numerous times, by the way. I had to go to my family and say, hey, look, I'm going to lose everything I've got. I need $26,000 tomorrow. Fran Tarkenton's a good friend of mine. He's a great entrepreneur and former Hall of Fame quarterback from Minnesota Vikings. And, he once spoke at a printing convention that right after I bought my printing business, I went to this printing show, and he said, if you haven't laid awake at night wondering how you're going to make payroll the next day, you haven't lived. So every entrepreneur I know has rolled the dice numerous times. I'm constantly rolling the dice, probably more than I should some days. Mm-hmm. But I have the ability, the belief in myself, like most entrepreneurs, I can get it done and I will succeed. You know what? And I will succeed. And there are dark days. Without question, there are dark days. But don't concentrate on the failures. The failures are what you got to do to get there. And you're going to fail. Trust me, you're going to fail. The key is to win fast. Win as fast as you can to be that champion. That's what you want to do.
I love that. First time I heard that turnaround, I love that. Win fast. I like that. Win fast.
Yeah.
That's different.
Everybody, think about that, Shay. Everybody's talking about how cool it is to fail fast. Bullshit. Win fast. I want to win fast. Let's be clear. I want to listen to me, folks, right now. Failing sucks. It sucks. It doesn't. There's nothing about it that makes you feel good. But you know what? You got to understand. You got to do it. It's kind of like no pain, no gain. Today I talked to Nick Best, the world's longest on the History Channel. He was on my show, All Business with Jeffrey Hayzlett on C-Suite Radio, and I interviewed him today. And we were talking about that, and he's talking about how he's the world's strongest man. He can bench press 850 pounds. Bench press 850 pounds. He can do squats of like 1,200 pounds. And I asked him, I says, do you still get sore, and does it hurt? And he goes, yeah, it hurts. But, it's no pain, no gain. So you're going to have to go through the failures. There's no doubt about it. It's like one time, remember Thomas Edison? I think we all know Thomas Edison. They once asked him, hey, you're a failure. You failed 10,000 times to make the light bulb. 10,000 times. He goes, no, I didn't. I just found 10,000 ways to improve it. Love it.
I love it. They're writing in below the comments, which is a great comment to put down there. They're writing win as fast as you can. Hashtag Jeffrey Hayzlett. I love that. Thanks a lot, Rashleen. We appreciate that. Tanya put, yes, win as fast as you can. Do me a favor, ladies and gentlemen. We're paying it forward. Look right below the video for everyone that's participating. You're taking notes. We appreciate that. Look right below the video and put win as fast as you can. Hashtag Jeffrey Hayzlett. Let's put win as fast as you can. Hashtag Jeffrey Hayzlett. Do that right now. And as you're doing that right now, normally we'd be jumping to commercials. I've only got so much time, so I want him to be able to share as much as fast as possible, which is what he's doing right now. So, Jeff, we appreciate your time. For everyone that's watching, you're watching the Happy entrepreneur show right now, the #1 business development and revenue focused late night show in the country. And we're super excited to have none other than Jeffrey Hayzlett himself. He's opened businesses. He's run businesses. He's turned business around. He's sold businesses, by the way. He's written 4 #1 bestseller books, by the way. And we could talk about any one of the books for several weeks. But today he's like, you know what? I'm here to serve. I believe in the giver's economy. The person outgives the competition, out-earns the competition. Let me do a remix on what he said earlier. The person outgives the competition, out-earns the competition. It's called giver's economy. But I want you to hit that share button right now. Hit the share button, because I'm going to ask him, probably a question gets asked all the time is, what is the key to turning around a business? He's a maverick marketer in today's time. So for the person that's out there, and the business may not be failing, but like, man, what's 1 or 2, 3 business ideas that he has as this guy that's a marketer that someone should do in the business? And I'm going to give him a space, because so many of you are different businesses. I'm going to say, look, these are folks out there that are entrepreneurs, and they have an interest, want, or need in order to be able to reach their target audience. I'll make it kind of simple so he kind of understands what the question is, because it's a loaded question, which is, as a maverick, what is 1, 2, or 3 things someone could do to really jumpstart their business or get their business up and going? And that's very, very important, because no matter how successful you are, superstars, we all hold one common belief. And do you know what that belief is? The belief is we can always get better. And that's what Jeffrey's here to do this morning, this evening, this afternoon, wherever you are in the world, is to help us all get what? A little bit better. So Jeffrey, the question I want to put out there too is they're putting win as fast as you can. I love it. Win as fast as you can. I love it. Thanks a lot, Tammy. Thanks. You even got Deborah Gardner taking notes, by the way. She's typing as fast as her hands can go. She's putting win as fast as you can. Hashtag Jeffrey Hayzlett. No, she's out there. You can see her in the notes. She's out there. Gordon Young is out there. Sarah Addison is out there. Thank you so much. Annette's out there. Tammy, Venus. We see all of you. I can't get to all the names, but thank you so much. You're digital note takers, and you're blessing someone who's listening to the podcast that can't take notes. They'll be listening to the conference call later. They can't take notes. You're making it happen. So thank you so much. So Jeffrey, the question. You're the maverick marketeer, man. You've turned around a number of businesses. If you had to give your strategy 1, strategy 2, strategy 3 in order to get your business up and going or to jumpstart it, what would be the 1, 2, and 3 ideas that you would share with the entrepreneurs?
Number 1, right off the bat, mood. Have a great mood about it. A bad mood will kill everything, especially if you got employees, especially if you got a team, but even your own mood. If you have a bad mood, it don't make a difference how good the product is. How many times you ever gone to a great restaurant? I mean, this restaurant is off the charts and the food is unbelievable, but the people that worked in the business have a bad attitude, bad mood, and it kills the ambiance. It kills the dinner. How many times you've gone to a kind of a crappy restaurant, not the best restaurant, but the atmosphere is awesome. The mood is fantastic. Well, there you go, right there. You want to go back. And so that's one of the biggest things, is to make sure that we have a great positive attitude and a great positive mood about what we do and how we do it. The next thing is capturing customer behavior, okay? And that is, I've always found that a lot of times when we go out and build things because we think they'll come, let me tell you what, the only thing you'll be is a baseball field in the middle of Iowa and no one's showing up, brother. So don't do that. And then last but not least is listen to customers. Listen to customers and understand what they need, what they value, because a lot of times we get this whole thing in our mindset that I'm going to build this, I'm going to do it this way, and then we go out and we sell it, and we sell it to our mother, and we sell it to our brother, we sell it to our sister, we sell it to friends, and they all tell you you're the greatest thing since sliced bread. Stop doing that. Your mom will tell you that you're pretty even when you're the ugliest kid on the block, okay? So don't do that. So go and really listen to the real customers, the people that are going to buy it, and then try to sell it to them. And if they buy it, you got something. If they won't buy it, then you don't have it down yet. I look at everybody I try to sell, and even if you tell me no, it's just one step towards yes. So eventually I'm going to sell to you. I believe I'm going to sell to everybody. It's real tough for me to move people out of my sales force, to move people out of my CRM systems, because, man, I just know sooner or later I'm going to sell you. So it's tough for me to do that. So I'm always constantly looking for the yes. I'm always constantly doing it. And then, what the heck? We're going to give you 4, not just 3, 4. 4, because it's a bonus. This is a bonus section, right? Never stop closing. I know it's an old adage about things, but I'm always pitching. I'm always selling. If you see me coming, you know I'm going to try to sell something to you, because that's what I like to do every single day, every minute. I usually sit up late at night sending letters out myself. I usually send about 100 letters a day on top of my emails and everything else. I say letters, but emails, messages to potential customers, or invitations to come to an event or whatever. I never stop doing that.
Wow. Powerful, powerful, powerful. I love it. I know we're coming down the home stretch, but take a moment. You're the primetime host of C-Suite with Jeffrey Hayzlett, and you also have the podcast. Take a moment to tell us what is C-Suite, and folks can go Google C-Suite if they haven't already done that, by the way. And these days, you don't have to tell them to do it. They go do it before the show. But I want you to go out there. I'm going to ask them for the website, so you can, at least for those folks that don't know the website, I want to make sure he gets that, and he says that right now. But I'm going to get you to go to the website so you can make sure it even works. I'm going to check it too. Don't worry about it. We're going to make sure the website works. Isn't that crazy? Sometimes people come on and the website doesn't work. So I'm going to pull up the website in just a second. And then I'm going to ask them, what is the mission, goals, and objectives of C-Suite? And that is csuite.com. Is that right?
No, it's c-suitenetwork.com. And you can find, or you can go to C-Suite TV, C-Suite or C-Suite Radio, C-Suite Book Club, all those. We own everything with C-Suite. But it's C-Suite.
So I'm gonna go there now. Let me pull it up. You'll see it in a second. By the way, if you can't see it now,
there you go.
I'm pulling it up, so it does work. It's C-.
Of course it works. What do you expect? You think
man, I've been on these things sometime and the site doesn't work. They're like, oh man, my site's there. I didn't know you was gonna check my site out. Well, I'm checking the site out, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, look, didn't your mother tell you when you were growing up you should always wear clean underwear just in case you got in a car accident? This is like, of course this is going to work. This is what we do. So yes, the C-Suite Network is an executive our executive gathering place for 350,000 C-Suite executives. So we are the most trusted network. We go into LinkedIn, you go into these other sites, you don't know who you're talking to. With the C-Suite Network, you know who you're talking to, because we vet every single person that comes in. We are a collective community of lots of different groups, like the Hero Club, like Manufacturing Council, the Marketing Impact Council, all these different groups that have the C-Suite as their DNA. The C-Suite executives throughout that. The second piece of it is we have a platform. So we've got C-Suite TV, C-Suite Radio, which are podcasts. We're the world's largest business podcast network. We have over 157 podcast shows, and we're growing one every other day right now. We've got lots of new shows coming on every single day. You mentioned Debbie Allen. Debbie's going to be on the network very soon, and we've got many others that are part of our network. We have 70 television shows. We have hundreds of authors that we feature on Bestseller TV. And then the third place is we're a marketplace. We're a place where people can gather and do business together, do commerce together, share information, teach and learn, and that's really what we're all about. So that's what the C-Suite Network's about, and that's what we're driving today.
I love it. You got to be asking the question, why are you doing it? I mean, you don't have to. You could be doing a lot of things with your time, but you decided to go build C-Suite Network. What's the big why for Jeffrey himself?
Well, for me, look, it really was when I was in the C-Suite, and here I am trying to make a transformation with Eastman Kodak. I was the chief marketing officer of Eastman Kodak. I didn't know who to talk to. I mean, I'd sit in meetings and I'm sitting there going, oh my gosh, this place is screwed up. Someone should do something. And I look around and I go, oh, that's me. I got to do that. And so, but then I didn't have a lot of people to go and ask advice. And sometimes you got to be able to raise your hand and get with other people and say, how did you do that? Why did you do it that way? What was the value of you doing that? What was the learnings behind it? And so I wanted to create a gathering place. And that's why I started the TV show, the C-Suite with Jeffrey Hayzlett, where we take people who work. I take people inside of boardrooms where 99% of the people who work at the company never even get to go, and have great conversations. Why did Domino's change 30 minutes or it's free? Why did they do that? Why did they change that? How does Cadillac be a luxury company yet they were in a bankrupt city and a bankrupt company, and now they're a luxury brand still? It doesn't make sense to me. How do you overcome that? CrossFit. When I look at CrossFit, the aesthetic brand of the body. I mean, you can look and see people who that work out at CrossFit and say, ooh, they're a CrossFitter, because you can tell the look of the body. And so, like, what does that mean? Or how are you changing people? And by the way, you're in a gym that looks like your grandfather went there, right? They're moving tires around. They're throwing some stupid leather ball. They're doing burpees. I don't even know what burpee is. I just know it makes you throw up. So, and then and people pay them more money than going to a really fancy gym with juices and drinks and stuff. So, like, how do they do this? So those are the things that kind of get in my head, and I want to know how. And then the good news is, for people that are like listening and watching right now, is you got great shows like this to be able to go do it. Isn't that awesome?
Yeah, that is super incredible. And for the person that I'm gonna go back to C-suite for a moment. I love your big why. If they're watching right now and they have an interest, want or desire, like, wow, that looks like something cool. One, I may want to be a part of it, or two, their platform may fit. Is there a button? Let me go over here. Is there a button they can go to, or is there a person they should contact?
It says contact us or tweet me. Look, my name's right here, Jeffrey Hayzlett. If you can't find me, you got to be living under a rock, okay? Because, we got all kinds of places that you look anything under C-suite, it's us.
Got it.
And we're behind it, we're driving it. But you can find me, Jeffrey Hayzlett. Contact us. You got a podcast show, we want you on our C-suite network. We want you on C-suite radio. You got a TV show or thinking about a TV show? Bring it, baby. We'll put you on. We're on Apple, Roku, Amazon Fire. We're in United Airlines. We're on WestJet. We're on Swoop. We're on cruise ships, doctor's offices. I even put a freaking TV show on an elevator. No, that's a true story. I'm in 2,200 buildings across the country on the Captivate network, and they're a great partner, and we put our shows on their network. You bet. Look, if there's a screen in a bathroom, I'll put it there too. There's a captive watcher right there. Know where to go.
I love it. Maybe about 3 more questions. We're just about done. We're in overtime now, ladies and gentlemen. I told me it'd be a few minutes, and now we're in overtime, but we are coming down the whole stretch. How does Jeffrey want to be remembered, by the way? I mean, when your day comes, it's got to be a question you've been asked a couple dozen times, but when your day comes, how do you want to be remembered? What do you want people to say about Jeffrey?
He's a good guy. That's it. Good guy. Mm-hmm. He was a good guy. I want to be mostly remembered as a great husband and a great father and a super grandfather. That's all that counts in the end. So those are the things that mean the most to me. People, it's always amazing. People comment on my Facebook feed. I have a personal page, but then I have a public page. The public page, I try to just keep the business. The personal page is personal stuff, because I got all these catfishers out there that are stealing my profile and putting them up and ripping women off and actually ripping some men off too. I'm on both. Evidently I'm a hot thing on Grindr right now, evidently. So, go figure. But really, they're always amazed when I post these pictures of me playing Barbies with my granddaughters or whatever. Of course, that's what grandpas do. So that's what you should do.
Man, that's pretty cool. Warren, I want to say thanks a lot. I want you to have final comments to the folks that are watching, that are listening right now. We have entrepreneurs. These lights are going to go off, right? And they won't have us saying, go for it. They won't have you giving words of wisdom. So I'd like for you to take a minute or two and talk to the entrepreneur out there right now that's doing really, really well. I mean, life is good. They're on a fast track. I got to keep it going. Or could be the entrepreneur that's listening right now that has high highs and then low lows and then high highs and then low lows. Or it could be that other person right now that life smacked them in the face with like a ton of bricks. They're laying on their back right now, and they're like, man, I got to get it going again. Tall order, Jeffrey, but I guess the question is your final thoughts. And let me say thank you so much, one, for being on the show. We appreciate it. Secondly, thanks for opening up your network. For those folks that are out there, go to c-suitenetwork.com, and you can look below, and it's all the networks below. You can connect. You can contact with him directly, contact with his office. He opened it up and said, at least find out what the process is to go through. So, Jeffrey, once again, thanks a lot for being on the Happy Entrepreneur Show, man. We appreciate you. Looking forward one day to shaking your hand, meet you face to face. But through the power of these fiber optic lines, you and I are able to connect because of a human being that put us together. That is Debbie Allen, through Deborah Gardner, who put us together, through Karen Cherry, who put us together through Success Women's Conference. So that's how it all comes together, man. Your final comments to all the entrepreneurs out there. And again, thanks a lot, man. Our paths will continue to cross. I can't wait to connect with you and the network.
That's awesome. Well, let me give everybody out there a free gift. Just go to the herofactorbook.com and I'll give you a free assessment on where does your business stand up in are you a hero? Do you have the hero factor? Are you a wannabe? Are you a do-gooder? Are you a bottom liner? Are you a good co? Are you an asshat company? Which I hope you're not, because if you are, don't stop listening to us because we don't want you around. But nonetheless, I want you to go find out your true potential. But the one thing I'd leave with you, we're all going to do that. As entrepreneurs, we're taking this journey. We start off as one man or one woman bands. We move to devout followers, and then we move to these skilled practitioners that are part of our business. But what I want you to be able to think about is, what kind of business do you want to be? What kind of individual do you want to be? And with that, I talk about this in the book, The Hero Factor. What are your walk-away values? That no matter what, whether you got the highs, you got the lows, what are the walk-away values? What are the values that you put forth the most, that that's your core, that's your center, of which you should operate from? And we need to spend more and more time about that. And then the second thing is, I want to leave you with this, Jim. What are your conditions of satisfaction? When it's all said and done, where is it you want to go? What is it you want to do? As Shay mentioned, how do you want to be remembered? Those kinds of pieces. But more importantly, what makes it work for me? Because let me tell you, there's going to be dark days. There's going to be ecstatic days. There's going to be days of great rays of light, euphoria. But in the bottom line is what are your conditions of satisfaction? Because how long are you willing to go without salary? How long are you willing to be away from your family? How long are you willing to put in those extra hours? Miss those birthday parties? Miss those things sometimes that you miss? Or those are my walkaway values, and I won't miss those things. That's what I leave with you.
Wow. With that being said, once again, Jeffrey wants to say thanks a lot for everyone. You've been watching the Happy Entrepreneur Show. Do me a favor. Look right below the video. Look right below the video as we close out, and write down your number one takeaway. Your big takeaway could be someone else's big breakthrough. So there's a takeaway that you got from this morning or this evening or this afternoon, whatever time it is for you, wherever you are in the world. Look right below the video right now and put down, my big takeaway was blank. My big takeaway was blank. So my big takeaway was win fast. I love that. Win fast. That's different. He's being disruptive, but that's Jeffrey. So I love that. Win fast. Look right below the video. We appreciate you. I want you to know that you're amazing. I want you to know that you're incredible. I want you to know that you have greatness inside you. And for you, the best is yet to come. For you, the best is yet to come. My name, once again, is Shay Brown, the Happy Entrepreneur. And thanks for watching the Happy Entrepreneur Show, the #1 business development and revenue focused late night show in the country. God bless. And we wish you success. We'll see you soon. Jeffrey, my man, thanks a lot, man. You're amazing. You're incredible. I appreciate you.
Well, thanks for having me. It's been a pleasure.
Indeed it has.
Please go ahead and give a big standing ovation for the one and the only Shay Brown.
And I'm here right now in this moment with none other than the one and only Dr. Willie Jolly. What's up, my friend?
It's a privilege and a pleasure and a treat and a treasure to be in your presence.
All right, Delator, we're going to get started. You ready, Delator?
I'm ready, friend.
You ready, Dr. Connett?
Ready.
You got none other than Andy Henriquez. And we have someone like a Dr. Sonia who's a bad sister. All right, now, go ahead with your bad self. None other than the Kim Warren Martin. That's the promise I made to my mom. I only did this message for one person, and that's my mom. This is for you, Mom. Love you. My name is Shay Brown, the Happy Entrepreneur. Make it a great day, everyone. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
All right, Shay Brown.
Mic check, mic check.
All I do is win, no matter what. Got money on my mind, I can never get enough. And every time I step up in the building, everybody hands go up.
Yes. Yeah.
And they stay there.